Here are the EDI cards all in a box, but if you don't have access to the physical set, then we've also put them on an online website. There's 145 of them. They're divided into 12 categories, which are labeled on the app, but there's also 4 themes. These are the definitions to help people understand what's meant by EDI, a scenario to help people sort of identify elements of their own work in the scenario which influence these things. There's the what am I going to do theme, which is help people come up with ideas of how to improve issues of EDI, and then there's the complications and practicalities theme. And each of those themes comprises different categories of the cards. I'm going to give you a demonstration now of how that works. On the website, there's a QR code, which we're going to scan here. So click on the link there, and this will take you to the Cardographer web app, which may take a little bit of time to load. Then it will arrive at a random card and then enable you to browse through the cards and get more familiar with them. And there we go. So now we've arrived at a random card, so robotics and cobots in this case. So on a phone, you can just flick backwards and forwards between the cards and read them as you will. And then underneath there are another couple of bits of functionality. There's a search bar which searches the text of the cards. So you can, for example, look for a word, so equity in this case. So there's these 3 cards here which include the word equity. So let's get rid of that. And then on the right, there's a little image of a dice which picks you a random card from the ones you have selected. And then next to that, there's little 3 lines which gives you the ability to pre-select each of the categories you wish to pick from here. Turn back to the laptop screen. If you go via the link here, this is exactly the same as it appears on the phone, but it shows you more than one card because it's been optimized for the phone here. So you click on the right hand side, you browse through them here, click to go back, have the search bar at the top there to search through the text of the cards. The dice there selects a random card which appears in the center of the screen. The 3 lines there gives you the ability to pick from the individual categories and themes. And this enables you to pre-select certain categories. So for example, you've got definitions and legal definitions, and then when you go back to the dice, that will pick a card at random just from those pre-selected ones you've had here, in this case definitions and legal definitions. You can't select themes directly in this version of the app at the moment, so I'm going to show you how to select the individual categories to pick from the 4 themes and do the random draw exercise. So if from the 3 lines in the menu here we have definitions and legal definitions, that is when you're picking a card from the definitions theme. So for example, this case, it's picked harassment from the legal definitions category, and you can then have a discussion about what that means, reflect on the sort of the legal definition on there and have a discussion around that. So to move on to the next category of the scenario, it's important to reflect back on this to at least remember or to take a note of the card you picked first, in this case, harassment. You go back to all there, and that will deselect all of them. And then if you pick these next categories, industrial digital technologies, protected characteristics, other characteristics, activity or context, and inclusion or exclusion, then those 5 individual categories are the scenario theme. So to pick a card from that at random, go through the dice here, and you pick a card there, in this case, respect, and then you think respect in relation to harassment, does that fit or does that not fit, and have a discussion around those. Again, click all to deselect these, the scenario theme in this case, and then the next 2 categories, approach and measures of success. That gives you the what am I going to do theme. So if you've got those 2 selected there, you click the dice, and therefore you get a random card from those 2 themes of representation. So how do you understand that? What do people reflect on those things? How does it combine with the previous 2 examples of respect and harassment? Does that work together? Does that not work together? Why? So you're starting off having a discussion around this. And to go on to the complications and practicalities theme, so select all to clear it. Then we have the complications, uncomfortable questions, and digital manufacturing challenges. So that's the complications and practicalities theme. And again, pick a card at random here. So it's selected here because it's outlined just on the map. Customization, maybe not the most obvious one, sort of threatened from the uncomfortable questions. How might that combine with the previous things, issues of harassment, respect, and representation that we taught? So how do those combine? Do they work together? Do they not work together as well? So by doing this slightly sort of convoluted way of picking these different categories and in the individual themes, you can replicate the random draw. It's important to make a note of the ones you've picked, and so therefore you can refer back to them and remember which ones you have. And then it's just a case of sort of starting discussion and discussing that around a table with individual people. More than one person can have this on an app or through a video call, for example, and via the website, and share screens perhaps and do things like that in order to do the random draw exercise with the online version of the cards there. So that's a quick run through of how the online version of the cards and the cardographer app works. Thank you for watching that. Hopefully it's given you some ideas of how you might do this in an online context. If you have any sort of need more information, then look on the website, which has further resources and further information on that. But hopefully this gives you a sort of idea of how the EDI cards, an online version, might help you in your work.